Dad? You sound weird. What's going on? I ask the moment I pick up, already feeling something heavy in his voice. We had to do it, Ethan, he says fast, like he wants the words out of his mouth before I can stop them. The house, we sold it. You what? I choke. You sold my childhood home? Without even telling me. It wasn't like that, he mutters. We needed to make a decision. No, you needed to talk to me, I snap. You promised we were a family. You promised that place would stay ours. He goes silent. Then I hear a faint sigh, the kind he uses when he's hiding something. Dad, why? I whisper. Just tell me the truth. Before he can answer, another voice cuts in. Give me the phone, Mark. He's dragging this out. Rachel. Of course. Ethan, she says, her tone cold enough to freeze my spine. It's done. The papers are signed. Move forward. Move forward. I repeat. That house is all I had left of Mom and Grandma Lily. You expect me to just move forward? That isn't my problem, she says. We needed a bigger place. This was the best option. For you, I fire back. Not for us. I hear something shuffle, then a small shaky voice. Ethan? It's Aiden. My heart breaks. Hey, buddy. It's okay. What's going on over there? I'm sorry, he whispers. I didn't want them to sell it. I told them you'd be sad. I told them. Aiden, stop, Rachel snaps in the background. Go to your room. But now. The line goes quiet again. Something inside me twists hard. Dad, I say, barely holding myself together, how could you let this happen? How could you let her talk to him like that? How could you let her erase everything? He finally speaks, but his voice is small. I didn't have a choice. There's always a choice, I argue. You just didn't choose me. That's not fair, he says, raising his tone. You don't understand the pressure we're under. Then explain it, I challenge. Explain why you didn't call me. Explain why you let strangers walk through my memories. We needed the money, he says again, but now it sounds rehearsed. Then why does Rachel sound like she's celebrating? I ask. And why does Aiden sound scared? He doesn't answer. I close my eyes, gripping the phone. Dad, do you even care what this does to me? Ethan, please, he mutters, like I'm the one causing trouble. It's just a house. Those 4 words crush something inside me. Just a house. I breathe. That place raised me. It saved me. It taught me how to survive after Mom died. It's not just a house. Rachel laughs under her breath. You're being dramatic. And you're being cruel, I say. Watch your tone, she warns. No, I say firmly. I'm done watching anything. I'm done being quiet. I'm done pretending everything you do doesn't hurt. Ethan, Dad starts, but I cut him off. You didn't just sell wood and walls. You sold my childhood. We can talk about this later, Rachel says. We're busy. The call ends before I can breathe another word. I stare at my reflection in the dark phone screen. My hands shake, but my anger burns into something sharper, something steadier. I won't let you do this to me again, I whisper to myself. I swear. I'll never be powerless again. I stand there in my room, feeling the world tilt, but something inside me hardens. This moment changes everything for me forever. When I step out of the rideshare and see the big red sold sign stabbed into the front lawn, I stop breathing for a second. You've got to be kidding me, I whisper. It's really gone. I walk closer, staring at the house that raised me. The windows look the same, but the soul inside feels different. I wasn't ready, I mutter. You didn't even give me a chance. A car door slams somewhere down the street, but I keep walking toward the porch. My footsteps feel heavy, like every memory is grabbing at my heels. This can't be real, I say under my breath. It can't be this easy for them. I reach the front door and try the knob even though I know it won't move. It doesn't. A simple click blocks me out of my entire childhood. Of course, I say quietly. Locked out of my own life. Ethan, a soft voice calls from behind me. I turn and see Mrs. Harper standing on her porch across the street, wrapped in her faded blue sweater. For a second, her face blurs because the weight in my chest hits too hard. I swallow. Hi, Mrs. Harper. She walks toward me, slowly but steadily. Sweetheart, is that really you? Come here. I barely get a word out before she pulls me into a gentle hug. It's the first warmth I've felt since the phone call. You shouldn't have had to find out like this, she whispers. They shouldn't have done this to you. I take a shaky breath. They didn't even tell me until the papers were signed. She steps back to look at me. Your face, oh, darling, you look heartbroken. I am, I admit. I don't know. I thought I had more time. Or at least the right to know. You did, she says firmly. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise. I look at the house again and feel the sting return. I thought I'd walk inside one more time. Even just to stand in my old room. You should have been able to, she says. You were the one who kept that house alive after your grandmother passed. Hearing that makes my throat tighten. I remember her sitting on the porch, I say. Laughing at how bad I was at raking leaves. She always said this house would stay ours. And she meant it, Mrs. Harper replies. But life isn't fair, Ethan. I rub my hands over my face. Dad sounded like he was trying to hide something. Rachel didn't even pretend to care. Mrs. Harper shakes her head. That woman? I never trusted her. She rushes through life like feelings are clutter she needs to throw out. I huff out a humorless laugh. Yeah. And somehow I'm the dramatic one. She touches my shoulder. What are you going to do now, sweetheart? I don't know, I say honestly. Right now I just feel lost. Like someone scooped out a piece of my chest. That feeling won't last, she says. You're stronger than you think. I don't feel strong. You will, she insists. Heartbreak can turn into purpose if you let it. I look at her, confused. Purpose? Yes, she says, nodding. You can either break or build something new. Her words settle into me like seeds. Build, I repeat quietly. I never thought about that. You don't have to decide today, she says. Just don't let this be the end of your story. I glance back at the house one last time. It already feels like the end. That's only because you're standing on this porch, she says. Take a step back. Look again. You'll see it differently. I do as she says. I step down, walk to the sidewalk, and look at the whole street instead of just the house. For the first time, something shifts. The ache is still there, but so is a tiny, burning spark. I think, something's starting, I say quietly. She smiles gently. Good. Let it. I nod, gripping that spark like a lifeline. I won't let them break me, Mrs. Harper. Not again. That's the spirit, sweetheart. And as I walk down the street, I feel it clearly. Not just pain. Direction. I don't bother knocking when I reach the door of Dad and Rachel's new house. I push it open and step inside. We need to talk, I say, my voice sharper than I expected. Rachel looks up from the kitchen island, annoyed already. So you just walk in now? You made enough of a scene yesterday, Ethan. I made a scene? I echo. You sold my childhood home behind my back, and I'm the one making a scene? Dad steps forward. Ethan, calm down. No, I cut him off. I'm not calming down. I want the truth. Rachel folds her arms. The truth is simple. We needed a better house. A bigger house. A cleaner environment for our family. Our family? I repeat. So what was I, Rachel? A guest? An accessory? A mistake? She sighs loudly. Don't twist my words. You're grown. You weren't living there anymore. It made sense to let it go. You didn't let it go, I say. You erased it. Dad winces. Nobody erased anything. Yes, you did, I fire back. So stop treating me like I'm stupid. You didn't sell it because you needed money. That was a lie. Dad looks away, and that's when I know I'm right. I step closer. Say it. Say the real reason. Rachel answers for him. Fine. I wanted a bigger house. A better neighborhood. A place that fits our family. I'm tired of squeezing into old spaces from your past. My past? My hands ball into fists. That house was my entire childhood. It was the last thing I had of Mom and Grandma. And you just tossed it aside because it didn't match your taste? She shrugs. You're being dramatic again. Dad finally speaks, his voice small. Ethan, she wanted a fresh start. A fresh start? I whisper. At the cost of my only anchor? Rachel rolls her eyes. You act like the universe revolves around you. Grow up. I stare at her, stunned by how casually she says it. Grow up? I whisper. You talk about family, but you made decisions like I wasn't even part of it. You're an adult, she snaps. You have your own life. We needed to think about ours. There it is. The words hit harder than anything else. So your real family, I say slowly, is you, Dad, and Aiden. She doesn't answer. She doesn't need to. I turn to Dad. And you let her say that? He can't even look at me. Ethan, I didn't mean. You meant it enough to sign those papers, I say. His silence answers everything. I feel something crack inside me. I thought you cared, I whisper. I thought I mattered. Rachel waves a hand. You're being emotional. This is why we didn't tell you earlier. I take one long breath. I'm done talking. I walk out before either of them can say another word. My legs feel numb as I reach the driveway. I don't even think. I pull out my phone and call the one person who has never lied to me. Maya picks up immediately. Ethan? What's wrong? You sound wrecked. I need you, I manage. Please. I'm coming, she says without hesitation. Where are you? I give her the address. Within minutes, her car pulls up. She leans over and unlocks the passenger door. Get in. I slide inside, and she studies my face. Talk to me. They sold it because I didn't matter, I say, voice breaking. Because she wanted a nicer house. Because I wasn't part of their real family. Maya grips the steering wheel. They actually said that? They didn't have to, I whisper. I heard everything. She looks at me with steady eyes. Ethan, listen to me. You don't have to let this be the end. I feel powerless, I admit. Like they took everything. Then change the story, she says. Don't let them write it for you. Her words spark something deep inside me, small, but burning. I sit back and breathe in slowly. Change the story, I repeat. Yes, she says. Start today. And for the first time, the pain turns quietly into purpose. I sit in my car across from my old house, staring at the porch like it might suddenly open for me. I should have fought harder, I whisper. I should have done something. A voice outside my window says, you look like you're trying to will the house back into your name. I jump a little and turn. A man in a dark blazer stands beside my car. Silver hair, confident posture, warm eyes. I recognize him instantly. Mr. Daniels? He smiles. Good. You do remember me. You were what, 10? Maybe 11 when I helped your grandmother refinance? I remember, I say quietly. You wore the same blazer. I wear this blazer every day, he chuckles. Mind if I talk to you for a minute? Sure, I say, opening the door and stepping out. He looks at the house. I heard it sold yesterday. Didn't expect to see you sitting out front. I didn't expect to be here, I admit. It wasn't supposed to happen like this. He studies my face. You didn't agree to the sale, did you? How'd you know? Because no one sits in their car staring at a house they wanted sold, he replies. What happened? My family sold it without telling me, I say. They told me after the papers were signed. He winces. I'm sorry. That's rough. It feels wrong, I say. Like they cut out a piece of who I am. He nods slowly. Losing a home is like losing a limb. But you look more angry than broken. I let out a bitter laugh. Is that supposed to be good? Anger means you haven't given up, he says. Most people collapse. You haven't. I don't know what else to do, I admit. I can't get it back. Not directly, he says. But homes aren't the only things changing here. I frown. What do you mean? He gestures down the street. Investors have been buying up properties in this area for the last year. The neighborhood's about to transform. Prices will rise. Opportunities will rise with them. Opportunities for people with money, I say. Which I don't have. He raises a brow. You'd be surprised what people without money can do if they learn the game. What game? Real estate, he says simply. I shake my head. I don't know anything about it. Then learn, he says. You already understand more than you think. You know the value of a home. Most investors only see numbers. But where would I even start? With me, he says. If you want. I blink. Why would you help me? He smiles again, but this time it's smaller. Your grandmother was one of the strongest women I ever met. She said you had fire in you, even as a kid. And right now, you look like someone standing at the start of something, not the end. His words hit deeper than I expect. I don't feel like I'm at the start of anything. You will, he says. Let me show you the basics. Timing, value, negotiation, patience. Once you know the field, the money part becomes problem number 2, not number 1. I stare at the house again. And you think I could ever buy something like this? You could buy the whole street if you learn how to move, he says calmly. The idea hits me like a spark. The whole street? He nods. Don't think small because someone made you feel small. Think big because you deserve big. I breathe out slowly. If I do this, I'm doing it on my terms. That's the only way it works, he says. So? Do you want to start? I lift my eyes to him. Yes. Teach me. He extends his hand. Good. Then let's rebuild you. I shake his hand, feeling the spark turn into something real. Not revenge yet, but direction. Mr. Daniels parks in front of a tall glass office building and says, "Don't look so nervous." He's not a monster. I'm not nervous, I lie. You're shaking. Okay, maybe I'm nervous, I mutter. Why would a big investor want to meet me? Because he likes potential, Daniels says. And you have it. We walk inside, and a woman with sharp eyes and a tight ponytail steps forward. You must be Ethan, she says. I'm Nora Reed. I shake her hand. Hi. Nice to meet you. Follow me, she says. Thomas is waiting. I lean toward Daniels. She seems intense. She runs on caffeine and numbers, he whispers. Don't take it personally. Nora leads us into a large office where a tall man in a navy suit sits behind a desk. He stands the moment we enter. Ethan Cole, he says, offering his hand. I've heard about you. I hope the good parts, I say. Thomas laughs. All good. Sit. I sit across from him, feeling out of place. Just so you know, I say, I'm not here to beg for anything. Good, he replies. Begging is useless in business. Drive is what matters. Daniel says you have that. I don't know if I have anything, I admit. I'm just trying to figure out how to not feel powerless anymore. Thomas studies me. Tell me what happened. I take a breath. My family sold our house without telling me. I want to understand how people build things. How they gain control. Thomas nods once. That's a good reason. Pain builds sharper students. I don't want to be angry forever, I say quietly. I want to grow. That's an even better reason, he replies. So let's start simple. Nora, teach him the basics. She pulls a chair beside me. Okay. First lesson, property is about timing. You buy when everyone else is scared. You hold when everyone else is rushing. You sell when the world is desperate. And money? I ask. Thomas smiles. Money follows knowledge, not the other way around. Nora places a folder in front of me. Leases, loans, equity, negotiation points. Learn these. I blink at the stack of papers. All of that? Yes, she says. All of that. And this is the easy section. Thomas laughs again. Don't worry. I started with nothing too. I look up. Seriously? I slept in my car for a year, he says. Then I learned how to use what I knew to get what I didn't. That sounds impossible. It's work, Nora says. But it's not impossible. I breathe out slowly. Okay. I'm ready. Good, she says. Then let's talk numbers. The next hour is a blur of terms I barely understand. But I ask questions. I take notes. I fight the urge to apologize for not knowing anything. Thomas stands. You have fire, he says. That's rare. I just don't want to feel small anymore. You won't, he says. Not if you stay consistent. Over the next weeks, I work 2 jobs, barely sleep, and spend every break reading the folders Nora gave me. One night, she calls. Ethan, did you seriously finish all of it already? Yeah, I say. Twice. She laughs softly. You're insane. In a good way. I return to Thomas's office after a month, exhausted but proud. He looks me over. You've changed. I feel different, I admit. Like I'm not just reacting anymore. Like I'm building something. That's the shift, he says. Pain becomes fuel. Does it last? I ask. If you let it, he says. So what's next for you? I look at the stack of new documents he hands me, the numbers, the possibilities, the future. I want to learn more. Then we keep going, he says. And as I leave the office with my arms full of papers, I feel it clearly. I'm not just chasing revenge anymore. I'm growing. Finally. I can't believe this is happening, I whisper as I stand inside the empty living room of the small house I just bought. The walls echo my voice back at me, like they're asking if I'm sure. Mr. Daniel steps in behind me. You did it, Ethan. You actually did it. Barely, I say. My hands were shaking when I signed the papers. That's normal, he says. Your first property is supposed to scare you. It's right across the street, I say, walking to the window. I can see everything from here. He looks over my shoulder. That's the point, isn't it? I swallow. Kind of. Not kind of, he says. This is your start. I take a deep breath. I didn't think I'd get here this fast. You worked harder than half the investors I know, he says. You earned it. My phone buzzes. I look and groan. Of course. Rachel posted another picture of their dream home. She captioned it, finally living the life we deserve. Daniels chuckles. She has no idea what you're doing. No, I say. And I'm not telling her. Or my dad. Or anyone. Good, he says. Silence is power sometimes. I put the phone away and walk deeper into the house. Do you think this place has potential? Every place does if you know how to move, he replies. Rent it. Fix it. Hold it. You've got options. I nod slowly. I want to learn all of them. And you will, he says. One move at a time. There's a knock at the door. I open it to see Nora holding a stack of papers. You really bought it, she says. Impressive. Thanks, I say. What's all that? Contracts, listings, estimates, she says, stepping inside. If you're serious about building something, these are your next steps. I laugh a little. You two don't give breaks, do you? No, she says. Breaks make slow investors. You're not slow. Daniel smirks. See? Even Nora believes in you. She hands me the stack. Review these tonight. And call me if you don't understand something. Will do, I say. She raises a brow. Don't lie. You always call when you don't understand something. I'm trying to be confident, I say. Confidence comes after knowledge, she replies. Read. She leaves the papers on the counter and heads out. Daniels follows, but not before patting my back. Welcome to the game, Ethan. After they leave, I lock the door and walk to the window again. My eyes land directly on the house my family sold like it was nothing. The porch lights glow, but it doesn't feel warm anymore. It feels distant. Cold. Someone else's. I'm back, I whisper. Not inside, but I'm back. I take out my phone again, scroll through Rachel's photos, and shake my head. You really think you won, I say quietly. You think you got everything. I look up at my new house, small, worn, imperfect, but mine. But you don't know what I'm becoming. I walk around the house, planning repairs out loud. The floor needs fixing, the walls need paint, the yard needs everything, but I can do it. My voice steadies. I will do it. At sunset, I stand by the window again and stare at my old home. The memories sting, but they don't drown me the way they used to. You took everything, I whisper to the empty street. Everything you thought mattered. My reflection in the glass looks different now, sharper, stronger. But you didn't take me. A quiet determination settles into my bones. I place my hand on the window and nod to myself. This is only the beginning, I say. And this time, the words feel like truth. I don't understand how this happened so fast, I say as I stare at the second set of keys in my palm. Mr. Daniels laughs. It didn't happen fast. You worked for it. You studied. You hustled. This is the result. Nora steps beside him with her tablet. 2 houses down, 1 more under negotiation. You're moving quicker than most beginners. I still don't feel like I know what I'm doing, I admit. That's because you're humble, she says. Arrogant people buy recklessly. You don't. I walk toward the porch of the newly purchased house. I never thought I'd even own one. Now I'm on 3. 4 by next week, Thomas says as he approaches from the sidewalk. The seller called. He wants out. My head snaps toward him. Seriously? Seriously, he says. You impressed him. And you impressed me. I don't know what to say. Say you're ready, Thomas replies. Because this is only going to get bigger. I take a shaky breath. I'm ready. He nods. Good. Then sign the papers tomorrow. As they leave, the neighbor across the street waves. Mr. Cole, she calls. I blink and point at myself. Me? She nods. Yes, you. I heard you bought the Harlan place. Congratulations. Mr. Cole. The words hit me like a strange, warm shock. Later that evening, Maya pulls up in her car and hops out. Okay, explain this again, she says. How many houses? Almost the whole street, I say. 5, if tomorrow goes through. She lets out a whistle. So you're officially the landlord of the neighborhood? Pretty much. That's insane, she says. In a good way. But insane. I can't believe it either, I admit. People used to look at me like I was broken. Now they look at me like I'm someone important. Are you? She asks. I laugh. I don't know. Maybe. She steps closer. Hey, don't lose yourself in all of this. I'm not, I say. At least, I don't think I am. Maya crosses her arms. Ethan, look at me. I do. You're doing amazing things. But power can twist people if they're not careful. Stay grounded. I nod slowly. I will. Promise, she says. I promise. She studies me for another moment. Good. Because I don't want you turning into the people who hurt you. I won't, I say. I'm doing this for me. Not for revenge. Not entirely. She raises a brow. Not entirely? I look past her toward my old home glowing under the streetlight. I'm not done until I reclaim that house. She follows my gaze. You still want it? I need it, I say. Not because of them. Because of me. Then keep going, she says. Just don't lose your heart. I won't. We walk toward the curb. A few neighbors wave again, people who barely noticed me before. One man calls, Mr. Cole, are you planning more renovations? I answer, yeah. A lot more. Maya nudges me. Listen to yourself. Mr. Cole. You sound like you run the place. Maybe I do, I joke. She smirks. Maybe you will. After she leaves, I wander back to the window of my first house. The lights on my old home flicker softly across the street. Every memory hums through me, pain and strength tangled together. I rest my hand on the glass. I'm getting closer, I whisper. 1 house at a time. The street is quiet, calm, almost sacred. I'm not done, I say softly. Not until I take back what they ripped away. And for the first time, it doesn't feel like a dream. It feels like destiny. My phone buzzes 3 times in a row. Aiden. I answer immediately. Hey, buddy. What's wrong? His voice shakes. Ethan, they're fighting again. My stomach tightens. What happened now? Dad lost his job, he says. He got fired last week. Rachel's really mad. She keeps yelling that he ruined everything. I sit down on the steps of one of my rental houses. Why didn't Dad tell me? He's embarrassed, Aiden whispers. And Rachel won't let him talk about it. I rub my forehead. How bad is it over there? It's really bad, he says. They can't afford the house anymore. The mortgage is too big. Rachel blamed Dad and threw a vase at the wall. Aiden, I say softly, are you safe? Yes, he whispers. I don't know what to do. You call me anytime, I tell him. Anytime. I'm here. There's silence for a moment before he says, she started selling things. What things? Her jewelry. Designer bags. The stuff she always bragged about. He hesitates. She sold Dad's watch too. The one from Grandma. My jaw tightens. She had no right. She's desperate, he says. She keeps saying she won't lose everything because of him. I breathe slowly, steadying myself. What else is she planning? He hesitates again. She wants to buy back the old house. I freeze. What? She said it's the only way to get some financial stability. She thinks she can flip it for a big profit. I nearly laugh at the irony. She wants to buy my house back? After she stole it from me. She doesn't know it's yours now, he whispers. She called the previous owner today. I feel the shift inside me, clean, sharp, satisfying. And what happened? She freaked out, he says. The agent told her the house is part of an estate now and is under one manager. She asked who owned it, and he told her the name. What name, Aiden? You, he says. He told her the properties belong to you. A slow, cold breath leaves my lungs. And how did she react? She screamed, he whispers. She said it was impossible. She kept shouting your name like you'd cheated her somehow. I smirked despite myself. She thought she owned the world. She forgot the world can shift. Dad didn't say anything, Aiden says. He just sat there and looked tired. I nod to myself. Because he knows he messed up. Are you mad at him? Aiden asks, voice small. I'm hurt, I admit. But I'm not mad at you. I don't want everyone to fall apart, he whispers. I don't want to lose everything. You won't lose me, I say. Ever. He sniffles. She said she's going to call you. Let her, I say. What are you going to say? The truth, I answer. That choices have consequences. Aiden stays quiet until he says, does this mean you won? I shake my head, even though he can't see it. This isn't about winning. It's about balance. But she's scared now, he says. Good, I reply softly. Maybe she'll finally understand what she did. Another pause. Ethan, what happens next? Next, I say, rising from the steps and looking at the line of houses I now own, she learns that she can't take everything from someone and walk away clean. What about Dad? He'll have to face what he allowed, I say. But I'll help him if he reaches out. And Mom, Rachel? She'll learn, I say. Life teaches people like her. He breathes shakily. I'm glad you're strong. I wasn't, I say. But I had to become strong. For you? For both of us. Aiden exhales. Okay. I'll message you if they start yelling again. Call me instead, I say. Anytime. Okay. I will. I promise. We hang up, and I stand alone on the street I now control. The same street where I once felt powerless. Let karma work, I whisper. And it does. Perfectly. I'm reviewing rental contracts in my office when the front desk calls. Ethan, there are 2 people here asking for you. Names? A pause. Mark and Rachel Cole. My chest tightens, but my voice stays steady. Send them in. The door opens slowly. Dad steps in first, eyes down, shoulders slumped. Rachel follows, clutching her purse like it's her last lifeline. I lean back in my chair. To what do I owe the visit? Rachel steps forward. Ethan, please, we need to talk. About what? I ask. You made it clear months ago that my feelings didn't matter. She exhales sharply. This isn't about feelings. It's about survival. I raise a brow. Honest already. That's new. Dad winces. Ethan, don't start. I'm not starting anything, I cut in. You 2 walked into my office. Rachel grips the edge of my desk. Fine. I'll just say it. We want the house back. I smile slightly. Which one? She blinks. Don't play games. I'm not, I say. I own several now. Dad lifts his eyes. Your childhood home, Ethan. I tap my pen on the desk. You mean the house you sold without telling me? The one you threw away like it was clutter? Rachel swallows hard. We need it. The mortgage on our current house is too high. We're drowning. So now it matters, I say quietly. Her voice cracks. Please. Sell it to us. No. She flinches. No? You can't just. I can, I interrupt. Because it's mine. She stares at me. You own the whole street now? That can't be real. It is, I say. Every property. Including the one you regret selling now. Dad steps forward slowly. Ethan, how did you even do all this? Work, I say. Learning. Patience. The things you never gave me credit for. He lowers his head. I'm sorry. I freeze for a second. It's the first time he said it. Are you? I ask. Yes, he whispers. I should have protected you. I should have listened. Rachel snaps at him. Don't grovel. We just need the house. I shoot her a look. You don't get to talk to him like that here. She stiffens. Ethan, please. We're desperate. I fold my hands. I'm not selling it. Her voice rises. You're ruining us. I'm not ruining you, I say, calm. Your choices ruined you. Dad places a hand on her arm. Rachel, stop. She pulls away. No. He has what we need. He can fix everything. Why won't you help us? I stand slowly. Because you didn't help me when it mattered. And because this isn't about you. So that's it, she snaps. You get revenge? No, I say. I get balance. Dad clears his throat. Then, what happens now? You can rent it, I say. Under my terms. Rachel's mouth drops open. Rent? Rent? From you? Yes. No, she says. Absolutely not. That's the offer, I say. Take it or walk. Dad looks at me, eyes soft with something like regret. What are the terms? Fair, I say. But strict. Rachel storms toward the door. I won't be humiliated like this. I call after her. Then you won't have a place to go when your house gets foreclosed. She freezes but doesn't turn around. She storms out without another word, heels echoing down the hall. Dad stays. Ethan, he says softly, thank you. Even if she won't admit it. I'm not doing it for her, I say. I'm doing it for the part of me that still wanted a father. He flinches, then nods slowly. I understand. When he leaves, I sit back down, heart pounding but steady. I look at the keys on my desk, keys to the street, keys to my past, keys to my power. I'm not the hurt kid anymore, I whisper. I hold the keys now. And it feels like truth. I unlock the front door slowly, the metal clicking like it's greeting me after years apart. I step inside and whisper, I'm home. The air hits me first, warm, dusty, familiar. It smells the same, I say softly. Like old wood and sunlight. I walk farther in, taking slow breaths. I thought this place would hurt, I mumble. But it doesn't. A voice behind me says, Ethan? I turn around. Aiden stands in the doorway, wide-eyed. You really got it back, he whispers. I did, I say. Come here. He rushes in and hugs me so hard I almost lose my balance. Thank you, he says into my chest. I thought you'd forget us. I thought you'd forget me. I could never forget you, I tell him. You're my brother. He looks around the house. It feels different now. Like it's yours. It is, I say. Not just on paper. In here. I tap my chest. We walk through the living room, and Aiden touches the walls. I remember hiding behind here when we played tag. I remember tripping over that rug Mom bought, I say. She laughed at me for 10 minutes. He smiles. Do you miss them? Mom and Grandma Lily? Every day, I answer. But today, thinking about them doesn't break me. We enter the kitchen. The counter where Grandma used to roll dough is still chipped. I run my fingers over it. I used to stand on a stool right here, I say. She'd hand me pieces of dough to shape. Mine were always ugly. They tasted good, Aiden says. Yeah, I say. They did. We walk down the hallway, and I push open my old bedroom door. The room is empty, but the air feels full. This is where I rebuilt myself, I say quietly. After Mom died. After everything. Aiden sits on the floor. Are you happy now? I think before answering. I'm at peace, I say. And that's better. You didn't do all this just to hurt them, right? He asks. I sit beside him. No. I didn't buy anything to destroy anyone. Then why? He whispers. To save myself, I say. To build something that's mine. To stop feeling powerless. To become someone stronger. Aiden nods slowly. You did. We get up and walk back to the living room. The sunlight pours through the windows like it's welcoming us. The house feels small, but in a comforting way. Aiden looks at me again. Do you think Dad will be okay? He will, I say. He just has to face who he became. And then decide who he wants to be. And Rachel? She'll deal with the consequences, I say. Life doesn't let people escape their choices forever. He kicks a pebble on the floor. I'm glad you didn't abandon me. You're the reason I didn't lose myself, I tell him. You kept me human. He wipes his eyes and laughs. You sound old. I feel old, I admit. We stand in the entryway. The same doorway I walked through as a kid, the same one I ran out of when I felt scared, the same one I thought I'd never see again. Aiden looks up at me. What now? I place my hand on the doorframe. Now. I build a future. For us, he asks. For everyone I choose to keep, I say. And I choose you. He smiles, and for a moment, it feels like all the broken pieces finally settle. I take one last, long breath and whisper, I didn't buy this street for revenge. Aiden asks, then why? To remind myself, I say, that no one can ever take away who I am. The house seems to breathe with me, quiet, steady, whole. And for the first time in years, so am I.